A black man. Do not look into my face and see the color of my skin and not see the content of my character.
Okay.
Do not look into my history and see the darkness of my past and not see the brightness of my future. Do not look at the losses of my mistakes and not see the profits of my achievements. Do not look at the distance I have yet to travel and not see the origin from which I have come.
Okay.
Do not look at the foolishness of my youth and not see the wisdom of my older age. Do not look at the poverty of my family and not see the riches of its love. Do not look at the child I once was and not see the black man I have become. And that's A Black Man by Michael E. McKenzie Sr. Welcome to Hypocrites and Contradictions podcast. Today we will be opening minds and changing perspectives through conversation. And I got a special guest with me again this week, live from the house of Lamont, Mr. Lamar Creighton. How you doing, brother?
Peace, King, stay dapper, my friend.
You as well?
No, love, baby, love, love, love.
If you could, just give the people a brief introduction to you, what you do and where we're at.
The House of Lamont. We're located at 116 West 4th Street here in the luxurious and beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, right in the center of it all. The House of Lamont is the quintessential gentleman's boutique. We believe in collaboration over competition, so we've created provided a really cool aesthetic with our environment. It's basically the one-stop shop for kings. Here at the House of Lamont, we build kings. Kings, not servants, but kings. All right, I've been shopping with Lamont for a couple of years, off and on when he was at another location. He was over on Monroe. Word.
And then we really had a real conversation about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So Lamont, if you could, this is a one-stop shop. Could you explain a little bit about what that means and what you do here?
Well, first I'll have to start off with the energy in which we operate in. As the House of Lamont, we believe and advocate collaboration over competition. Collaboration over competition totally dispels that negative opportunity of competition. There are no crabs in the barrel here. We bring all of our gifts to the table to ensure that our black kings have the best opportunity to present their best foot forward in a well-rounded manner. We have a full-service, all-male manicure pedicure salon. Our gentlemen walk around a lot of times with those $1,200 Giuseppes, but they still have those $3 feet. You know what I'm saying? So we provide a nice masculine man cave environment for them to come in and have their grooming taken care of. Be real comfortable with the Queen Sheena. We call her our alabaster woman.
That's what she
is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, alabaster woman. The products and services that we sell and provide here is just icing on the cake. It transcends beyond that. It goes deeper. So she's actually praying over your feet back there, ordering your steps. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, to keep the outside of those Giuseppes clean, we have the God Sterling.
Hey.
Sterling Shoe Shine in the building. He clean, condition, polish, and repair shoes. So again, you got that nice interior. The foundation's great. You got that nice mani-pedi. Sterling makes sure that those shoes are taken care of, because likewise, if you got those bent over heels, your back gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? So again, we helping our kings present their best foot forward in a well-rounded manner. So the well-rounded comes also around the opportunity to further clothe, and that's where the boutique come in. I actually make custom pieces. I do custom made to measure, and then I have a nice collection of curated goods so that our kings can step out independently as the king that they are in their own energy, even if you got identical twins who walking around in separate bodies. So we like to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to shine in their own light. And then even on top of that, we have the House of Lamont home collection. So the whole energy we build from the rooter to the tittle, you know what I'm saying? From the mud, from the ground to the top of that hat that I sell you. We also like to make sure that dapper is exuded throughout your environment. So the House of Lamont home collection allows us the opportunity to provide some of those unique, cool antiques, or those pieces that we have that aesthetically take you through time. You know what I mean? So when people come into the House of Lamont, it's not like a regular retail. We like to make sure it's like a museum. We had the opportunity to teach about history, things that we've endured. That allows us the opportunity to, not just inform people about where we come from, but then instill that greatness in them, so it allowed them to operate in their full potential. Heard another podcast the other day that said that if we were able to instill greatness in our children at an earlier age, that we might have an opportunity to change the whole algorithm of success. So we talking about mathematically moving and operating. So everything's strategic. So we strategically placed ourselves together, again, just to make sure that you kings, that you keep your crown polished and you always keeping your best foot forward.
Okay. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, man, that's what we do. Is the gift the Most High gave us.
You taught me the phrase collaboration over competition. Because we do live in a world of scarcity, fear, and greed. And Lamont definitely is an advocate for it. There is enough to go around.
Absolutely. We don't live... when you guard body, when you guard people, you don't operate. That spirit of fear is not what we were given.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We were given a spirit of sound mind. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we have to be able to sometimes pull ourselves back from what's that corporate or that day-to-day or that sociological or that societal influence, you know what I mean, to be able to operate in our own energy.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Tell me a little bit about where you come from, because I'm not from Charlotte. I don't know if you from Charlotte, but a lot of people that are in Charlotte are not even from here. This is sort of a migrator city, and it's only getting bigger. Where are you from?
Man, I'm right here from Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised. It's an honor. I appreciate the growth of the city. Likewise, I appreciate all of our individuals that have come to reside in Charlotte to bring their ideas, their work ethics, and their open minds, you know what I mean, to Charlotte to make it pretty much the melting pot that it is.
Okay, so you've been here for your whole life. If you could, just inform us a little bit on your background. Like, how did you actually get into... Because the truth about Lamont is you are a tailor.
Right.
You're a designer.
Right.
And when we say design, meaning you make clothes.
Right.
You got all this other stuff going on in here.
Yeah.
How did you sort of stumble upon your gift?
Well, just through experience, man, and time. My whole, and then likewise, I guess I would say earlier, the biggest catalyst was through traumatic situations. So, you know, just like we've been through slavery and stuff as black people, you know, we've encountered negativity and trials and tribulations. You know, we'll continue to do so, but I had to experience that myself directly through my mother being murdered as a kid, you know what I'm saying? And that gave me the opportunity to open up and develop rapport. Not easily open up, but right. To start developing rapport with a band teacher who basically allowed me the opportunity to understand that there was a light at the end of the tunnel when I was trapped in a tunnel of triple stage darkness. I mean, I didn't even know that there was an end to the tunnel, much less a light. So when I say that, I mean, he helped me realize what my gift was, and then allowed me also the encouragement to be able to get beyond the traumatic situation of having to deal with my mother's murder, and then spiritually be empowered by knowing that, you know, her death basically allowed me still the life that I have, and right. That, you know, if anything else, that it would be left up to myself.
Okay.
So,
well, damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's deep.
What kind of effect did the death have on you? And what I mean by that is you were in a space of darkness. So how did that sort of take hold of you, and how did you get out of it?
Well, as a direct result of that, I became an extreme introvert. I didn't trust anybody, bro. I'm gonna just keep it 100. I ain't trust a motherfucker, yo. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, you couldn't just walk up on me, you know what I mean? And that lovey-dovey shit just wasn't happening because I had been cheated out of my mother, you know what I'm saying? My dad died like 3 months later, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I basically, you know, was living with my grandmother at that point, new schools and all of that. Not necessarily being received like like anyone would want to in a new neighborhood, and it's predominantly black drug, you know, field and all of this. I mean, murders right in front of the yard, you know what I'm saying? Broad daylight type deal. So it was something to get used to, you know, but like I said, I had a couple individuals that basically took the reins. Not that I gave it to them, they took the reins. Like I say, my band teacher, I don't know if it was just, you know, well, I think it was a culmination of things. One, he understood my potential. He said he saw the light in me. And then other than that, just having a little bit of love for me. You know what I'm saying? He grabbed me up, pulled me in the office one day, and, you know, just scolded me, you know, bro, I know you can do so much greater, you know what I'm saying? And I can see it in you, you know what I mean? and let me know that, you know, what I was going through was basically, you know, it had me in a position to where I might be beneficial to someone else later. You know what I'm saying? And then above and beyond that, he was like, yo, like, if you really believe that your mom is in heaven, you know, type deal, or that there is that afterlife or whatnot, he's like, you know, you still have the responsibility of making her proud.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even on this plane. He was like, and if she was still here, he's like, the responsibility would still fall onto you. He's like, physical or spiritual, you still have to be responsible. So, like, that just basically dropped the ball in my court.
And that was high school, right?
And yeah. Well, actually, junior high school.
Okay.
So what most people would say middle school now. So 8th grade, 9th grade. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, you know, at that time, I was like last chair in my band class. Like, I would just break out my instrument, sit in the class, and lean my chair back, and I wouldn't play. And you wasn't gonna make me play. And I didn't talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, at all. Like, I ain't even talk to people.
Damn.
Teacher would ask me something in class, and like I would get in trouble because I didn't want to talk. Not that I ain't know the answer. It's just that I didn't want to talk.
So that was middle school. So right around that time, you started to come out of your shell, or a little bit, or was high school still a little bit strenuous?
I started to come out of my shell middle school, and by the time I got to high school, had been around Mr. Lane enough, you know what I mean, to where I was able to open up about, you know, my love for how he dressed. Because he used to come to school in like these dope bow ties, Brooks Brothers. This is a white cat, you know what I'm saying? So like his wife was the president of a bank, you know what I'm saying? So despite my neighborhood, you know, I went through, you know, of course, the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? The 5%ers and all of that. And, you know, they taught you to be leery of white guys and all of that. And, you know, they the devil and all. I don't know, something spiritually just told me that I could trust this guy, you know what I'm saying? And that he had my best interest at heart. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I began to open up to him, let him know things that I like, you know, and that I like the way he dressed. And one day he gave me a GQ magazine and was like, yo, like, go through there then, you know, and he was like, tell me what you like, you know. And at that point, I didn't know, like, if it was just, you know, in a case of, like, he was trying to find out what I like to get me a gift or something, you know what I mean? But he was actually opening it up because the pictures that I saw, he knew that I could emulate different things, you know what I'm saying, just by watching how I dress, you know what I'm saying, because I had watched how he dressed, you know what I'm saying, so I would come in the next day, like I go to a thrift store or something, you know, or actually it wasn't even a thrift store then. I worked the whole summer at one point and bought me a polo necktie, bought like $80 tie, and walked in and I'm like, Mr. Lane, look at me, you know, I'm clean and everything. He go, my necktie. He looked and shook his head and he was like, wow, that's a nice tie, but like, one, I would never spend $80 on a necktie. He was like, who does that? And then he was like, shit, the rest of your outfit is beat up. So it kind of opened up the lane for him to start telling me about tailoring and above and beyond that, just how to shop. So like the GQs that he had given me, I memorized all the names in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I already knew what Polo was and, you know, Ralph Lauren, all of that, Armani and all of that, and Cavalli and all of this stuff popping up. And one day he took me to a thrift store. And he took me to a thrift store in a really affluent area, like in his community. So, you know, close to like Valentine type deal. So he grew up in Myers, he lived in Myers Park.
Okay.
So like when he took me to the thrift store, like that thrift store was a little bit different from the thrift store that we gone to. You know what I mean? So like in the hood. So like that thrift store had all the labels that I'd seen in GQ on their rack for like $3 or $4. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, like, this is how you actually do it. He's like, I know you probably think a lot of white people go to the mall and buy brand new. He's like, but a lot of us don't. He's like, we're frugal with our money. So he was teaching me not only how to dress well, but likewise how to be frugal with my money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So after a while, it just became my thing, man. Like the teachers, I mean, I wore a suit every day in high school. From 10th grade to 12th grade, I wore a suit every day and carried a briefcase. I mean, it changed pretty much to school.
You've been dapper since dapper been dapper.
Since dapper, been dapper, stay dapper. You know what I'm saying? Born dapper. You know what I'm saying? And stay dapper, my friend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the whole lineage. You know what I mean? It changed my whole perspective on life. It changed how people looked at me because I was able to present myself differently. I didn't present myself in darkness. I wasn't wearing hoods over my face, covering up my face, hiding my light. You know what I'm saying? Hiding my potential. I wasn't scared of the world. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, I feel like I had already endured everything that the devil could throw at me. You know what I'm saying? With taking my mom and dad and anything else, I felt like I could chew. You know what I mean? So, like, that point, I guess even in high school, I started styling individuals, styled our own little singing group in high school at that time, and that became like the whole cover of the sheet that the kids take home to their parents, like when they order their picture packets. So that was kind of like the birth, the biggest catalyst to what I do. So I was like, whoa, like, I really can do this. You know, so I joined the military the summer between my 11th and 12th grade year in high school. I was
just about to ask you.
So, I went to basic training the summer between my 11th and 12th grade year, came back for my 12th grade year, and left for the last part of my basic training, which is called AIT. So that's like your technical training for whatever job you're going to do in the military. Did that, and then I stayed in the military for 8 years, so it gave me the opportunity to travel abroad, travel different places where most people were going into bars, getting drunk. You know, I try to go over to, you know, find where the nice tailor shop is. You know, we're in the UK, I'm trying to find Seville Row. You know what I'm saying? Where I can see the collars, where they're putting the collars together, putting the shirts together. And, you know, that's when I kind of had, the idea was birthed in my head at that time. Not necessarily the name, the House of Lamont, but the idea that I could bring all of my experiences from around the world and put them in one shop here in Charlotte and be able to help build my community here. So at that time, the name was Male Improvement. So I had so many other different services that I wanted to offer, you know what I mean? But time allowed me that opportunity to home in what I really love doing, you know what I mean? And what was most profitable for me to be able to operate as a ministry and as a business. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, here you might see on the gram that, you know, I say fashion is my ministry. And again, I told y'all earlier that what we do transcends beyond the garments and products and services we have, that it goes deeper. So that's why I say fashion is my ministry. Allow me to use the gift that the Most High gave me to give back to the world. So the House of Lamont is now the house of the world. So again, all of those worldly experiences, all of that knowledge that I gathered, you know what I mean, I offer here now as a way to be able to educate, you know, the kings here in Charlotte.
Hold on. All right, now you got sort of the adolescent Lamont experience, and then you got a military experience. How did those two sort of mold you to the person that I'm talking to today?
Well, the military definitely allowed that opportunity to develop the discipline that I need to make sure I get my ass up every morning at 6 o'clock, or if I needed to stay late, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that I got my job done. It instilled me also that spirit of operating in excellence, you know, doing it right the first time, you know, getting it right, making sure that everybody's happy with the work. You know what I mean? And above and beyond that, just that ability to continue to fight for the overall good of all. You know, in the military, you know, a lot of times we sacrificed our lives, you know, for different things that were on behalf of the government. We may not necessarily agree with all the decisions, not even the fight, because I didn't want to kill anybody. I've never believed in that. But I joined the military for the college benefits. You know what I'm saying? But it was just part of the obligation that I had. You know what I mean? So, like, there were things, like I said, the discipline that I took away from it, the camaraderie, the individuals that I met, made relationships with, that now, you know, live throughout the world. So now I can call them up at any time and, hey, yo, I'm in Bangladesh today, you know what I'm saying? So, like, let's have lunch, you know, type deal. Or if I needed something, I can call them and then they can let me know, you know, or find out information. If I needed material, they can travel in Indonesia, you know what I'm saying, and say, hey, I've got this guy that I really trust and he has really nice fabrics and let me link you up with him. So, and again, it allowed the House of Lamont to be the house of the world, man.
Damn.
All of it, man. It just comes full circle.
Okay. So did you go to college after you got out of the military or no?
Man, I've been to college twice.
Okay. Where'd you go?
I went to North Carolina Central, business degree.
Yep.
All right. Then I've also gone to CPCC. So I worked after the business degree, I worked for other entities. I've been a visual coordinator for Banana Republic, lead visual coordinator. I've been a visual coordinator stylist for Abercrombie and Fitch, and I've managed businesses like communications companies, had my own communication company. Lastly, worked for Wells Fargo, Wachovia. So when Wells Fargo bought Wachovia, I kind of got laid off in that merger, went back to school again, got another degree in health information technology. And even in the obtaining of that degree while I'm in class, I'm sitting there thinking, like, this isn't really what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in a hospital situation and I find out, even though I might just be working on a computer, Miss Bessie died and I done went in there and spoke with Miss Bessie, I'm going to need a counselor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I operate in love. You know what I mean? So sitting in class the last week, I took my exams, knocked them all out and everything, had my final financial aid refund check come in, and I hadn't filled out any resumes. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, like, what do I want to do? So I went to the beach. You know what I'm saying? I went to the beach, bro. I went to the beach because I'm like, yo, like, I just need to go clear my head. I just need to go sit in the water and, you know what I'm saying, just go burn, go do my sage burn right there on the water, you know what I'm saying, go deep real quick. And, I'm just out there meditating in one day, and then all of a sudden in my head was like, what's up with the house of Lamont? You know what I'm saying? Like, my building my own house, you know what I'm saying? And I got scriptures coming through my head, you know what I'm saying? I do the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm knowledgeable about the Bible, the Quran, you know what I'm saying? All of it, yeah. So, like, all of this stuff is coming through my head, and I'm just like, whoa, like, build it on a solid foundation. Build your house, build your house. And then these other scriptures came through, like, yo, if you use your gift, I'll bring you before kings and queens. You know what I'm saying? And, like, the picture that you see right there of Belks, bro, like, I had that in my house because they had tore down Midtown Mall. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So that came out of Midtown Mall. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where my granddaddy used to bring me to shop, get his little Sunday's best, and right on the side of that belt was a Burger King. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I got my first little round paper hat. And my granddaddy started calling me King, his young king. You know what I mean? So when you walk into the house of Lamont, when we greet you, peace king, peace queen, it started because he started building me at an earlier age, calling me king, let me know that I was royalty. So despite the situation I went through later with my mom that kind of had me raggedy, as I started to mature, and I started to dress well, because of the influence from Mr. Lane, I understood that I was a king. And again, in some of that spiritual literature, it tells, about how some kings are able to humble themselves and put the crown on other individuals' heads. So I felt like that's what my job was. That's what my job was. So, like, when I started doing the knowledge even to my name, like, my name is Lamont Hart. You know what I'm saying? Lamont means the world. And heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's almost like that's the world's heart. Right. So for me, I felt like I was supposed to be the modern day Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? The real black reflection
the
of
real.
The real black of Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? And they say he'll come back. You know what I'm saying? And man, I got a broken rib. I don't know how I got. I ain't trying to say I'm walking on water or nothing, but bro, like, I got stigmata shit that be happening to me, yo. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it real, yo. Like, I just operate in love, yo. And I mean, that's how all of this blessing keep coming to me, bro. Like, I know I just dropped that on you. I ain't never really told you that, but
so listen to this though. This is a short story. So I listened to Les Brown like a lot. You got your needle right there too. I listened to him. He told this story, right? The story is about a Chinese bamboo tree. Now, a Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. All right. So what you have to do is when you plant this tree, you have to water the plant and take care of the soil every single day. All right. Now, what happens is during this 5 years, the people around you that's looking at you, they can't see anything growing, and they're looking at you and they're wondering, why the hell is he keep watering this ground every day and taking care of it? And they judging you. And to be honest with you, people look at you and they think you crazy. But what happens is at some point in that 5th year, the tree blooms, right? It sprouts. And the tree grows 90 feet in 5 weeks. So the question is did the tree grow this 90 feet in the 5 weeks or the 5 years?
The 5 weeks, yo. Cause honestly, like this is my 5th year of business, bro, and we got called by Center City Partners 6 months into my 5-year lease that I just signed at another place. They broke my lease down to less than half. You know what I'm saying? So we was on Monroe Road paying $1,400 a month in rent and $200 a month in light bills. So on our 5th year anniversary, Center City Partners called us downtown and was like, yo, like we need diversity downtown and we need soft retail downtown. So like within the first 5 weeks of being here, what made us grow was one, the negativity that we received because they didn't understand us. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we had a gentleman that walked up and told me directly, told Jerry, another white guy, that he thought we were using this as a drug front. You know what I'm saying? I explained to him that I had military experience and that I have 2 top college degrees, and he looked at me dead in my face and said, oh, so you're supposed to be one of the smart ones. We're talking about less than 9 months ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? When we first moved in here, the gentleman came back that night and vandalized our window, threw rocks and stuff through cut down my flower bouquet on the outside and threw it through our window. Okay, so like that right there was it could have gone either way. Right. You know what I'm saying? But because we operate in the spirit, understand the spirit in which we were called, and that's in love. Right. That's what we gave it. So we didn't chase him down. We had people responding on Facebook with his profile pictures, with his tags and everything, where his kids go to school, everything. They tried to make us out to be the villains, to say like we were responsible because our windows look so good. That's what made someone throw something through our window. Right. So that gave us the opportunity to say, okay, no matter what we encounter here, we still gonna operate in love because the opportunity that we have here is beyond and bigger than us. Correct. So like the next black business that want to move into Uptown Charlotte, how we react and respond to this is going to have an impact on how they're going to move in. I appreciate that. So we continue to give them love. And that right there, that gave us that growth within 6 months. Because like you say, people were watching and waiting for us to bubble up and to overboil, you know what I'm saying? And for all of the foam to come up and for there to be that chemistry, you know what I'm saying, response or reaction, you know what I'm saying? But nah, we kept on manipulating that soil. We kept on providing that sunlight. We get out here every day and we continue to say, peace, king, peace, queen, have a great day, have a great evening, great rising, sir. You know what I'm saying? Not good morning, not walking up in mourning, but great risings. You know what I'm saying? Changing the whole dynamic in which they see. You know what I'm saying? Now they walk down. We had 3 businesses here that replaced our windows, bro. Not our insurance policy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Pearl, they came over. It gave the community opportunity to come in and say, yo, like that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? We embrace y'all. We see what y'all doing is real and it's from the spirit. It's from the heart. So here go money. Here go money. Here go money. We actually had a little bit left over. You know what I'm saying? And what we did, we went and bought food. We got crock pot and all that stuff. Cooked food together, and we fed the homeless. That's what we do. We fed the homeless. That's what we do. All right. Word. So, it's another quote. Life is too short to play it safe. You can't make it out of life alive. Right? So, you've been through a lot. At what point did you, or when did you sort of get this period of sort of self-accountability where you sort of want to take self-accountability for yourself, and not only that, give that same gift to others? At the point that I recognized that it wasn't my gift. You know what I'm saying? The gift was given to me to use. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? But it wasn't mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, like at a younger age too, I told you, you know, when I started looking at the fashion thing, I was able to see, you know, a little thing of James Dean. You know what I'm saying? And there's this quote of James Dean that's very comparable to what you just spoke. And it said, dream as if you'll live forever and live as if you'll die today. Right. You know what I'm saying? Same carpe diem. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So seize the day. So that's kind of been like in my mind, like, man, even like I said, at 12, bro. I mean, there was a point where, I mean, I wasn't even crying where I had to get up and make that phone call and say, this is what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how I was able to do that. Okay. It came. Whenever it came, right. It came. Yeah. Another one, it says,
we know what we do, but we don't do what we know, right? So you doing some shit that it speaks to you. What advice would you give to people that are sort of working that 9 to 5 grind and trying to find out what it is? Because you know how everybody's always say, do what you're passionate about.
Do what you love. Do what you love.
Which is easier said than done. Because sometimes what you love may not pay the bills.
Right.
But what advice can you give somebody that sort of want to walk in your steps and do something that they actually love and figure out a way to profitize off of it at the same time?
Well, one is just finding out what that gift is. You know what I mean? We all have them. So, I mean, that takes spending some time with yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then from that, I mean, every road to success is not the same. You know what I mean? You might still need to work that 9 to 5 while you develop it. Hell, that 9 to 5 might provide you with all the contacts that you need in terms of like clients.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you can continue to, or either start or continue to build your business.
Right.
So like for me, like when I first started, the House of Lamont, I told you I was doing it as mail improvement. Then I thought about doing it as a concierge. You know what I'm saying? Like God saying concierge. You know what I'm saying? And that was another company of mine. And then it all morphed down to the House of Lamont. So once I was able to narrow down I think he gave me many, and he does with the other people, but once I found the one that I could be most profitable on, and then the one that made me happy, and that was, making clothes and styling clothes, dressing individuals, dressing myself, you know what I mean? That's when it was able to take off and I see the fruits of that production of that labor a lot easier.
Okay. My man, Lamont.
Just take the plunge, man. Take the plunge, man. He say if you use your gift, he'll bring you before great men and women. And I don't doubt that. You know what I'm saying? If you believe he's gonna take you to heaven, then you gotta believe that too. You know what I'm saying? And he say come boldly before the throne with your gifts. He ain't say pit pat. He ain't say pussyfoot around.
Right.
He ain't say tap dance. He ain't say bow before you came. He say come boldly before the throne. So every day I get up, I come in this joint with expectations of being used, being a blessing to somebody, and then by the end of the day, like it's okay, like I done made some money, and like I was happy doing it, and like I still got energy. I'm not even tired, and I can still go home and be creative. So I go home and start making something else, or popping stitches, doing alterations. You know what I'm saying? That's just using your gift, though, man. He say use it, try 'em. He asks you, the Most High tell us to try 'em in our giving and in our gifts.
Boy, this boy Lamont is on fire. Now let me ask you this. Love is a verb, not a noun. So when you tell somebody you love them or you want to express love, you got to put a lot of action behind it.
Word.
We've said the word 1 trillion times today. What does the word love mean to you?
I am love. I am that I am. And he said, I am love. Everything that I do is a direct response from that verb. You know what I'm saying? The action, the verb, everything that I do. I love what I do. I love the clients that I work for. And because of that, I mean, it's nothing but love that comes out of that collaboration. You know what I'm saying? They love looking good. They love the response they get from individuals when they walk up to them and say, hey, nice suit, or you look dapper as fuck today, sir. Right. You know what I'm saying? Peace, King, I see you. You look well today. You know what I mean? So, I mean, love is all that I am and all that I do, man.
We appreciate you, brother.
It's a house of love, baby. Lamont Creighton Hart.
Now, if you don't mind, could you please tell the people where they can find you at? Social media, your address, Instagram, whatever you want.
Get your pads together, bro. We www.thehouseoflamont.com. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and definitely at 116 West 4th Street in Charlotte, North Carolina, 28202. If you don't have the opportunity to do that, you just want to talk to her, brother, get some more questions answered, you can call me, 704-712-9531. Till we had that opportunity to meet, I always encourage you to stay dapper, my friend. Love.
Now, today's episode was almost brought to you by Bedlam Vodka. I tasted it. It tastes amazing. Lamont is a sponsor of Bedlam Vodka as well.
They're a sponsor of the House of Lamont.
They're a sponsor of the House of Lamont. I said that wrong. Apologize. We have been drinking a small bit. If any business owner is interested or just a regular person interested in doing an interview, please reach out to me at hypocritesandcontradictions@gmail.com. And I want to leave you off with one quote. Well, actually a poem. It says, I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon if I can.
Call to be prepared.
I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentive for a dole. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat.
Never.
It is my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to think and act for myself, to enjoy the benefit of my creations, and to face the world boldly and say, this with God's help I have done. All right, and this is what it means to be an entrepreneur, and that's Dean Afflange. People, we appreciate you. If you're thinking about taking a risk, stop thinking about it and just do it. Come see us at House of Lamont, 116 West 4th Street. This is Hypocrites and Contradictions. I'm Eddie Estell, and hopefully today we open your mind and we change this perspective through here in our conversation. Hypocrites and Contradictions at gmail.com. Peace and love. We see you all next week.
Yeah.